Hello, and welcome to JA's Be Entrepreneurial series, Think Like an Entrepreneur. My name is Grant Carlisle. Today in session 1, you will cover developing a mindset. So today's session, there are 3 main points to get across. The first one is about that entrepreneurship thing and what is it. The second one is talking about a growth mindset. The third is about going into a deep dive on the characteristics of an entrepreneur's mindset. Now with the session today, there's something that you might know about. It's a guy named Damon John, and he and I have something in common. We both know how to sew. Yeah, I mean sewing machines, like with needle and thread. Well, his mom taught him how to sew, and that was the beginning of what became FUBU down the line. You'll hear about and discuss how he didn't do everything right, but he figured it out, and he kept going, and I would say he's pretty happy. He has found success in his entrepreneurial journey, and it's not because of any end goal that he may have met, rather what he did along the way. And that's what we'll talk about today in session 1. That mindset that you have along the way that will take you from where you are to where you want to be. In my first venture, Run for Phil, we had running events going on. I mean 5Ks, 10Ks, half marathons. And our value proposition was to bring money into the equation that went to nonprofits. So the Phil part of Run for Phil is short for philanthropy. And we were raising money for nonprofits that we cared about. Originally, we thought it was going to be more of putting on a run and then giving a nonprofit some money. We thought that the partnership would extend into the money we were giving them and maybe some of the exposure. It wasn't until we made the decision to partner with the nonprofit early on through the entire process that really unlocked the key to our success. Having the nonprofit early on in the process allowed us to gain exposure not only to them and what they were doing, to the event itself. And our journey along the way definitely included tough times, pitfalls, mistakes, and successes. It's those things that I learned along the way that I bring with me now. It's those things that I took on to my next venture that I learned along the way. So where you might have a big goal of having $1 million revenue year, or maybe $1 million in revenue month, maybe you start a venture and you want to have 100 people work for you. Whatever that goal is, that's great. It's the steps you take along the way that you take with you onto the next step, onto your next venture, or into the next company you work for. So pay attention today as you hear things that you might already have heard. You get validation on things you think. Also listen today for new things that you haven't heard before. And hopefully by the end of the day, you can synthesize those two and you can learn something new. Thanks for having me in your classroom. My name is Grant Carlisle. Have a great day. Onward.